The two main components of a suspension are your springs and your damping elements. The springs are responsible for isolating you from the bumps on the motocross track, as well as maintaining your riding position. The damping elements are responsible for controlling the motion of the wheels when you go over those bumps, as well as the motion of the body. Let's take a look at some of our WP Pro components and show you where you can make those adjustments. Okay, here we have a WP XACT Pro 7548 fork. Let's take a look at what you can adjust on it. On the top, we have our spring preload and the compression adjustment. On the bottom, we have our rebound adjustment. Let's see what each of those adjustments does for you. The spring preload adjustment will help set your rider sag, as well as help to add extra force if, for instance, you have bottoming out issues with your suspension. The compression adjustment will help to slow the wheel when you have an upward motion of the wheel, for example, when you go over a bump. If you have too much compression damping, this could mean that you're not absorbing the bumps very well, and so you're restricting the movement of the wheel. On the other side, the rebound damping is controlling how quickly the wheel is extending out. And an instance where you can have too much rebound damping is if you're losing traction. You're preventing the wheel from extending fully and from the tire to make contact with the ground and get traction. So what you can try there in that situation is to open up the rebound damping and see if it helps. Here we have an XACT Pro 8950 shock. Now this shock has quite a bit of adjustability built into it, so let's break it down one by one. First, we have our spring preload. Now the spring preload will help you to set your rider sag, as well as maybe add some extra force if you're having bottoming out issues. Over here on the top, we have our low speed and high speed compression adjustments. Now they're adjusted individually and have different functions. The low speed compression adjustment will help you in situations such as long straights where you don't have a lot of bumps, or in turns. What this means is that the suspension is not traveling at very high speeds, and therefore the low speed compression damping is controlling the movement of the wheels better. The high speed compression damping is useful when you have big bumps or a lot of bumps in a row. What this means is that the suspension is compressing very rapidly and very quickly, so therefore the high speed compression adjustment will help control those motions better. Down at the bottom, we have our traditional rebound damping and our SuperTrax rebound adjustment. The rebound damping adjustment controls how quickly or slowly the wheel extends after it has already been compressed. The SuperTrax system detects missing ground contact and allows the rear wheel to extend more rapidly by enabling an internal bypass inside the shock. At the end of the day, this means that you'll have better traction because your wheels will be contacting the ground more frequently.